Good day, students! Another day means another opportunity to learn. And for today, we will be talking about the Stork Balance Stand Test. I am Ma'am Geneva Manawis Manganon, and I will help you understand your lesson in this video. First and foremost, let us know our lesson objectives. First one is define what balance is. Second, cite the importance of balance to an individual. Third one, differentiate the ways of assessing balance. And finally, our fourth one is perform, record, and rate your score in Stork Balance Stand Test. I hope that by the end of this video, you were able to attain them all. So, are you up for the challenge? Very good! To start off, let's have a game first. And our game will be called Messing with Your Mind. For this game, I will try to trick your mind. So the only thing you're going to prepare is your mind alone. Meaning, no writing materials will be allowed during this game. So let your mind help you or trick you. So are you all ready? Alright, so let's start!
For number 1, choose a number between 1 to 9. Make sure that you memorize this number. Next step, multiply this number by 9. Followed by our third step, subtract the product from 5. For our fourth step, the number difference shall be paired with the letter of the alphabet. Begin with number 1 equivalent to A, 2 equivalent to B, and so on. Next step, think of a country that begins with that letter corresponding the number difference. Then, identify the last letter of that country. After that, think of an animal that begins with the last letter of that country. Moving on with our eighth step, identify the last letter of that animal. For the next step, think of a fruit that begins with the last letter of that animal. And finally, for our last step, this is now the question. What are the 3 words that you keep into your mind that made it balanced or undisrupted, focused or undisturbed?
I bet most of you came up with these words. Orange kangaroo in Denmark. Am I right? Brilliant! I guess I really did mess with your mind. Let's first have an overview of balance. So when we say balance, it is the maintenance of equilibrium while stationary or while moving. So this simply means that balance is your ability to stay upright or stay in control of your body movement without falling. So I have here some examples and illustrations for you to better understand what balance is. First example is balancing your body while stationary. So in here, your body is not moving or is at rest. So you could be standing still, sitting, and so on. Second example is balancing your body while moving. So unlike the first example, in here, your body is actually in motion. So to name a few, you could be walking, running, dancing, playing sports, and so on. There are reasons why we consider balance a necessity or important for us individuals. The following reasons are: first, to maintain equilibrium while moving or even stationary. So just like what I have said earlier. Second, to remain stable or undisrupted, which is related to our third and fourth one, to remain focused or undisturbed, and to maintain correct posture and normal body composition. There are 3 ways that we can use to assess our balance. Number 1 is by closing our eyes. Stork balance test is also sometimes conducted with eyes closed, giving it a higher level of difficulty. But how does closing our eyes heightens the level of difficulty in balancing? Well, I bet most of you have experienced that when your eyes are closed, you get the feeling of falling down or your body starts to wobble. Am I right? Alright! The second way to assess our balance is by using Flamingo Balance Test. So when we say Flamingo Balance Test, it is a total body balance test and forms part in the Eurofit testing battery. Basically, Flamingo Balance Test is your ability to balance successfully on a single leg with your hands on your hips and your other leg bended and resting on your supporting leg. And finally, our third way to assess our balance is by using the Alpha Fit version. The Alpha Fit version is almost the same with Flamingo Balance Test. However, in this test, the hands do not need to be placed on your hips, and timing stops when your hands go above the horizontal level. There is also a 60-second maximum of score. The purpose of Stork Balance Stand Test is to assess your ability to balance on the ball of your foot. So the ball portion of your foot is in between your arch and toes. Of course, in performing Stork Balance Stand Test, you will be needing some equipments, right? So for the equipments, you are going to use the following. A flat surface to stand on. So for the flat surface, you could make use of your floor. And a stopwatch to measure how long you were able to balance. But if you do not have a stopwatch or a stopwatch is unavailable, then you could make use of your cell phones.
First step is remove the shoes and place the hands on the hips. Second step, position the non-supporting foot against the inside knee of the supporting leg. And finally, for our third step, raise the heel to balance on the ball of the foot. Timing stops when any of the following occurs. A. The hand or hands come off the hips. B. The stance or supporting foot inverts, everts, or moves in any direction. C. Any part of the elevated foot loses contact with the stance leg. D. The heel of the stance leg touches the floor. And letter E. The client loses balance. First is head bending. You will be performing 8 counts on both sides. Next is head twisting. So that is 8 counts on both sides as well. Next, shoulder rotation. So that would be 8 counts clockwise and 8 counts counterclockwise. And for our last warm-up exercise, the elbow pull. So you will be performing 10 counts on both sides. These are the following ratings for Stork Balance Stand Test. To be rated excellent, male must score more than 50 seconds, while female must score more than 30 seconds. You will be rated good if for male, you scored 41 to 50 seconds, and for female, you scored 25 to 30 seconds. You will get an average rating if you scored 31 to 40 seconds for male and 16 to 24 seconds for female. You will get a fair rating if for male you scored 20 to 30 seconds and for female you scored 10 to 15 seconds. And finally, you will get a rating of poor if for male, you scored less than 20 seconds and for female, you scored less than 10 seconds, which means you really need some improvements.
Now it's your time to perform the Stork Balance Stand Test. Again, this is Ma'am Geneva Manawis Manganan, happy to serve.